moving from controlling everything to trusting and allowing. And I want to really dive into this topic. I was on a call with a new client, and we were just talking about this whole idea of how, he learned to do and make things happen his whole life. And with all the doing, he came into a lot of success professionally in other areas of his life. However, when he learned about manifesting and he wanted to apply this with a person, this is when he began to realize that no amount of doing was getting him results. So this is what I want to talk about, and I intend that this video is helpful for a lot of you because I know it was for me, and it was part of my awakening and realizing this too, that all that controlling has to just go out the window because it doesn't help. So stick with me and welcome. My name is Rose, and welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you can live a life that you truly love. If you're interested in joining me one-on-one, you can go to RoseyLife.com and look at the different coaching options that I have there, and you can be a part of the Rosey Life course and community, where you get 12 lessons to start putting your focus within. And as a group, we meet once a week for our live Q&A, and I dive deeper into different topics. And you have the course, The One, for those of you who want to really understand imagination and the why behind all the techniques and why this works. It's a foundational course for you to really have a deeper understanding of what imagination is. So that is why it's there. Okay, so let's get to this. So I remember when I first started learning about manifesting and all the different things that were going on in my life. Up until that point, I was really good at being focused, determined, and getting stuff done. When I wanted something, I made it happen. And I attribute it to my effort, my work, my attention, my diligence, my loyalty, my commitment to waking up, to getting things done. And I really just had this personality of just like, go get it. And I really have a lot of success stories behind that. So it's not that it doesn't work. It's not that doing and taking action does not work, because it will work. Everything works. That's the thing, because everything comes from you. However, when I moved along into learning about manifesting, and I started really doing this with people in my life, that's when I started feeling like, wait a minute, how come all my action, my trying, my changing myself, me promising, me apologizing, me having talks, the relationship talks, me having whatever, discussions with people, negotiating, controlling, all of these tactics, none of it worked. Right? None of it worked. Me changing, them changing, all of it, anything and everything. I noticed that it was just a crash and burn. And if it works, it would work temporarily, but it wouldn't last, because I would go back to being the issue, the problem of me seeing myself as there was a problem with me or with them. So the core issue, right, never changed. So what the issue I'm referring to is that I believe part of the awakening for me was understanding that I don't have to have control, right? That our ultimate control is within consciousness, is that we are in control of everything. I don't have to try and control things. I don't have to try and control outcomes. I don't have to try to figure out how to change and mold myself so someone would like me. I don't have to figure out how I would keep clients. All of these things that I used to thought were necessary, right? What my awakening was showing me is that releasing that control was the thing that I got to do. And it felt relieving. It felt peaceful. Like, I don't have to keep tabs. I don't have to be proactive. I don't have to keep one step ahead. I don't have to, worry about dropping the ball or the other shoe dropping. I don't have to worry about all these things, because when you know who you are, you understand that it's all coming from you. Everything's coming through you. So there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be proactive about or keep tabs out. And everything that happens, I have the power to change it. Even if something seemingly looks unpleasant or I don't like it, I get to change that. I get to chill and know that my power is working 24/7, and anything that comes up, I just change it automatically, instantly. So there's nothing to be proactive about or try to fix or control or keep my eyes on. And that also applies to, when you're using any technique. Like, you don't have to be in the on position 24/7 and constantly affirming or constantly thinking about it, right? You don't have to worry about the self-concept and all of these, things that I know that I bought into. And for those of you who also have bought into that, right? It's okay, because it's been part of where you are right now. It's brought you to where you are at this moment, all right? And you get to declare all of that as part of something wonderful is going to happen for you from it, that wonderful, amazing things have happened. And they will continue to ripple effect wonderful results for you. So just allow that to just phase out, whatever you've been doing and you feel exhausted from, and step into knowing that part of this awakening is remembering that you are in control, that you've always been in control, and that you were just under the impression, you had an illusion that you had to be in control physically by doing and taking action to see some results or to get something done. And one of my favorite scriptures that Neville talks about quite a bit, and in other teachers as well do, is this one in Matthew 19:26 that a lot of you have heard, and that is, "But Jesus beheld them and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." And I love this because it's Jesus talking, right? It's Jesus addressing, right, the doubters, or that part of you that's saying this is hard, or I'm exhausted, or I've been doing this and it's not working, or I've been trying. And Jesus is saying to them, meaning those thoughts, those doubts, those fears, it says, with men this is impossible, meaning if you're trying to rely on your efforting and your doing and your actions, and you think that and you're not seeing results, and you're just like, I'm doing everything right, and I got the techniques down right, and I've been affirming, I've been doing this, and I've been calling, I've been pounding the pavement, I've been doing everything that I've been told to do. It's literally telling you, with men, meaning as yourself, as Rose, it's impossible, right? The things that you desire might seem impossible as your human self, might seem impossible to your friends, your family, or to loved ones, or whoever. The things that you desire might seem impossible, going from having nothing in the bank account to being wealthy. It might seem impossible. Like, whatever it is that you desire, doesn't matter. Nothing is too big for God, right? It might seem impossible as physical human beings. It's impossible because you're limited just as a human being, if that's what you rely on, your effort. And it says, but with God, all things are possible. All things are possible. But with God, all things are possible. And that's right there telling you that it's not you yourself and your actions, it's you with God, right? You declaring the I am, that is what you're declaring yourself to be, is the I am. And with the I am, all things are possible. And sometimes I joke around, and when somebody comes to me and tells me, but what about this? But you can't do that. You can't manifest that. That's not possible. And I said, I'm sorry, is there an index in the back of the Bible that has exceptions to the word all? Because if there is, I missed that book, or I missed that index in the back of the Bible that says all things are possible except this, except that, except this. All means all. It's not sugarcoating here. It's saying all. With God, all things are possible. There are no exceptions, none. And if you believe in exceptions, if you believe in like, yeah, everything but this or everything but that, now you're setting limitations. You're creating limitations. You can't limit God's power. You're just creating limitations for yourself. You're not limiting anybody else. You're not creating limitations for anyone else. You're believing in limitations creates limitations for you, not for anyone else, just for you. So remember, you are not doing anything but choosing. So when you're in consciousness and you're imagining and you're assuming something for yourself, right? That's the only doing that takes place, because any other doing is done for you. Remember, you're doing it with God. You are not alone. You are not doing this alone. You don't have to will this with effort and trying and tons of writing and scripting. You don't have to sacrifice and earn your way to your manifestation. It's already yours. You're claiming it as yours. With God, all things are possible. So the doing in any action that'll come, it's going to come from the state of your wish fulfilled. It's not going to be action then wish fulfilled. The actions are going to come from the state of your wish fulfilled, meaning the inspired actions that you take are going to come from the version of you who has the desire, and you're going to do them so naturally that you're not even going to realize that you're doing them, because you are led to do these things. So you don't have to take mental, logical action to get something to happen. Very different. I hope you guys can see the difference. So remember, in another way to look at this too, even from away from the spiritual, even with quantum mechanics, and it talks about we are all matter. We're all like we are less than 0.01% like concrete. It's like we're so little of anything that is solid. We're mostly 99.999% energy matter, meaning it moves, it's malleable, it can change, and we can change it into anything. How? With focus, right? With focus. And there's, I'm not going to go into it, but I'm sure there's tons of teachers already talked about the double slit experiment. If you don't know what that is, you can look that up. But that was a scientific research that was done that with awareness, the energy actually landed in specific places just with the attention of a person putting their focus on it. In the first time when the person was not putting their attention on it, the energy just splattered, but when the person put the focus on it, then it went specifically in places. That's your focus. That's just with moving energy. That's how we're able, even our bodies are vibrating energy. Everything we are is energy. That's why when we are put under microscopes, we are energy. Everything, the couch, the light, this YouTube, video channel, everything, it's all energy. And we put our focus into creating things to look solid, but nothing is solid. Everything is energy. So I really wanted to do this more as a reminder that you are not doing this alone, that with God, all things are possible. And if you feel alone, and if you feel like you're struggling, and you feel like, you're exhausted and you're tired, that's because you bought into the idea that you have to do stuff to get something. And that comes from a lot of old beliefs that don't serve you anymore, of like, you got to put in the hard work and the sweat and the tears for you to get the outcome, then you earned it. It's like, no, it's already yours. You earned it, deserved it the moment you were born. You were deserving and you earned it and worth it. The moment you arrived, you were born into worthiness. You were born into abundance. You were born into all the desires fulfilled. You're not earning anything. You don't have to do anything. You are claiming what is yours, and you don't have to do this physically alone. You are doing this as God, with God, because God is within you. Whether you are aware of it or not, it is still operating. You don't even have to be aware of it. That's what That's what those, people call like asleep. They're just not aware that this power is operating through them, and then you're aware that this power is operating through you, and then we get to play with it and have fun, but you're not alone, and you're doing this with God. And I think that brings a lot of peace when I talk to my clients. I'm reminding them, you're not doing this on your own. You're doing this as God, with God. And so you're just choosing, and then you're just like, here you go. Make it happen. Right? It's just like, and God's like, okay, what are we doing today? Where are we going? What are we doing? What's happening? What's next? Right? And that's that relationship between you and your I am is the best. All right, my loves, thanks for liking the video. Thanks for subscribing to The Rosey Life. And thanks for being here. And I know I sound a little congested because I am, but I just really wanted to put this video out today for you guys and encourage you or remind you that with God, all things are possible. There are no limits. Everything is possible. So all possibilities exist. And so don't limit yourself. All right, I love you guys, and you are all so freaking amazing. I'll see you soon. Bye.